Talk to your father about his dreams. Because God gave you birth to assist your father in his dreams. Christ was sensitive to the fact that he was born to fulfill his father's desires. How many men wish their sons would follow them in their business? And most sons go off and let their friends determine their business. Successful families always carry this mentality. Joshua and sons. But in our culture, we don't see too many unsons around. Because somehow our kids just don't get the revelation that what is started by your father belongs to them. You ain't got to start anew and start all over again and try to create a new wheel. Your family becomes your continuation of your heritage. He got his purpose from his father. And number 4, he got his heritage from his father. He said, I belong to my father. I know where I came from, and I know where I'm going. Where do you get your heritage from, young man? When you stand in the midst of your environment, can you tell them, my family doesn't do that? My family don't live like that. My family don't act like this. I have a heritage. How many of us as young men are ashamed of our good parents? I know alcoholic parents, and the kids are ashamed to even see them. They're drunk on the streets. They're high on drugs. They look filthy. And these kids don't even want to associate with those parents. And some of you got some good parents and still don't want to associate with them either. Christ says, I am from my father. He's my heritage. Good heritage. Number 5, he got his power from his father. Boy, I like this one. He got his power from, he says, my father strengthens me, and I can do the work my father gave me to do. How many of us get our power from our father? You know, a good father gives his credit to his children. I walk into the bank many times as a young man, and they would say, who's your daddy? And I tell them, they'd say, oh yes, you can come on and we can help you. Why? My father's power opened doors for me. Don't cut off your father. Your father has already paved the way for you young women and young men to protect you from a lot of problems. A good father keeps a good name so he can make a way of power for his children. Number 6, he got his authority from his father. You know, sometimes a good father can be avoided by a son. I'm talking about the reputation of a father. But let me tell you something. Notice what Jesus said. Jesus says, I didn't come to do my will, but my Father's will. He says, I came in my Father's name. Wouldn't it be wonderful, wherever you go, that you can associate with someone who has already made the credibility possible? That's what fathers do. Everything you do, sir, is setting up your grandchild. Your authority should come from your father. The next one is your legitimacy. You know, I remember when I put my kids in college, I went to the same college. And I walked into the business office and everybody knew me because I was involved in the school in a leadership role in the university. And when I went there just a few months ago, we were going through the process of getting them all worked up, you know, and getting their grades and paying the bills. And everyone in the office knew me. And they treated my kids a little differently from the other kids because of my name. They didn't allow us to go on lines. They didn't allow us to go. They took us in the back to an office. And sometimes you feel like, am I cheating? No, you ain't cheating. You're using the authority and the hard work of credibility to lay down by your father. How do you think we get to go to God? Not in your name. You've been fathered by Jesus, and he's been fathered by God. And now he says he's making his father your father. You can't lose no matter how you try to lose, huh?